Well, Mark, Utah Valley University had more than 3,000 students in attendance just 3 weeks ago. Here at Utah State University, more than double that tonight. We're hearing 6,500 people stood in line outside of the Spectrum tonight. They're still taking down some of the fencing and the security measures that were put in place. Hindsight 2020, of course, after what happened with Charlie Kirk and the assassination there. Security here was tight on campus. Governor Spencer Cox, former Congressman Jason Chaffetz, Senator Mike Lee also supposed to be here but had to join with a video from Washington, D.C. because they were working on possibly not shutting the government down. On the stage tonight, some of those people I mentioned were answering questions from the audience, questions that normally they'd be asking to Charlie Kirk. They did their best to fill those shoes, and the first question of the night went to Governor Spencer Cox, and it was on the issue of transgender bills. One of those questions was his idea and his views on transgender athletes. It's something that Charlie Kirk had called out the governor for on social media in the past.
It's no secret that you and Charlie did not historically see eye to eye. There are multiple instances of Charlie calling you out for refusing to protect women's sports back in 2022, and even going so far as to say that you should be expelled from the Republican Party. Since Charlie's assassination at Utah Valley, you've seemed to change your tune about Charlie. How has Charlie Kirk's death personally impacted you?
Yeah, thank you. So, you know what? I don't know that my tune about Charlie has changed. I've learned a lot from Charlie over the years. That might surprise you. And I would hope that Charlie's tune, if I had an opportunity to talk to him today, might have changed a little bit about me.
Now, the governor is saying that he probably agreed with Charlie Kirk 99% of the time, but not all the time. The governor went on to explain his stance on transgender youth playing sports, bringing up the fact that Utah passed laws to prevent minors from transitioning, and that minors already transitioning had to prove that they would not take away scholarships from female student athletes. He also spoke about signing Utah's bathroom bill into law. You can see that full exchange if you'd like to. It's posted on our website at KUTV.com. We have had a full team up here on campus today covering the events. Brian Will has been talking to students all day long and also was inside that crowded Spectrum Arena tonight with thousands of students who were there hoping to ask their questions and hear a little bit about what the conversation would continue after Charlie's death. Brian?
Heidi, thousands of students and community members lined up here to get inside this event here at Utah State. And a lot of them, quite a few of them I talked to, said they came to hear what their leaders had to say, and because of Charlie Kirk.
I see this empty chair and it does something to me. I know it does something to you.
Tuesday's event at Utah State started by paying tribute to Charlie Kirk. Many in the crowd saying they came here for Charlie.
After what happened at UVU, I still wanted to come up and be helpful and show support.
Alex Clark with Turning Point USA hosted the event called This is the Turning Point Tour.
I'm not here to eulogize Charlie Kirk. I am here to pass the torch on to every single one of you.
Walker Manning was one of the more than 6,000 people in attendance, according to organizers. He came here to hear more about this conservative movement.
The Turning Point spirit, like fighting for freedom, fighting for faith, fighting for open markets and limited government, and coming to try and continue Charlie's mission.
Republican Utah Senator Mike Lee made a virtual appearance from Washington, D.C. Then a panel including Arizona Representative Andy Biggs, former Utah Representative Jason Chaffetz, and Utah Governor Spencer Cox took to the stage. When it came time for Governor Cox to speak, he was booed by the crowd. When asked how the shooting changed him politically.
I think it changed all of us.
The panel went on to talk about Charlie, his legacy, and what they hope to see in the future of the country.
And support Charlie and Turning Point.
Now, the event wrapped up around 9 p.m. tonight without any major security issues, at least on this side of campus. Heidi?
Brian, thank you. There was an overwhelming amount of security on campus today. When I was arriving around 2:30 this afternoon, though, there was an alert coming out from Utah State University about a suspicious package. Students were forced out of the building and out of class. What's the latest update on that scare earlier today?
Yeah, Heidi, it's all clear now, but still no word on exactly what that package was and why police had to detonate it. Now, we were over on that side of campus earlier when that alert came in. You know, USU police evacuated Old Main on campus around 2:45 while classes were still in session. A student told me someone came in and told them they had to leave. Now, dozens gathered on the quad about 200 yards from that building, and about 10 minutes later, a second alert from USU saying the evacuation was due to a suspicious package. The bomb squad showed up, and right as me and my photographer Leah got here around 3:30, we heard this.
We both grabbed onto each other and started backing up. We didn't think something was gonna actually go off. To be honest, my heart dropped. I was wait, I thought this was gonna be one of those false alarms, but then yeah, there was a boom.
Students and staff were allowed to safely return about an hour later, and classes in there did resume. The all clear was given right around 4 o'clock. Now again, we're still waiting to hear what the bomb squad found, why they had to detonate it, and what the reason was, and if there are any suspects in this case. Heidi?
Brian, thank you. As we were speaking to students this afternoon and others from the community who were coming on campus, they were happy to see how much security was here tonight and everything going off with the event without a hitch after that hiccup earlier during the day. Also talking to a lot of students who said they were happy to be here carrying on what Charlie Kirk wanted to see happening. Students having conversations and getting a lot involved in politics, many of them, though, sad that it had to be this way. Reporting live from the campus of Utah State University, I'm Heidi Hatch. Back to you, Mark.
Heidi, thank you. It's been nearly 3 weeks since Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at UVU, and today the Associated Press released a report that found the event lacked key public safety tools.
Yeah, David Ochoa talked to a security expert about what was in that report, and what did it say, David?
Well, there were a few things that the report focused on, such as drones, the size of the police force, a subpar emergency response system, and more. According to the Associated Press, Utah Valley University didn't meet the same safety standards that are typical at other events across the country. Was there anything in that report that surprised you?
No, not at all.
Chris Bertram is a retired deputy chief of police, and he says the AP report hones in on some of the things that experts on the safety and security side of things have identified.
What we saw in the AP report was, a little more direct. I think we've been somewhat, especially from local news media, we've been somewhat compassionate about some of the things that we've said about the security gaps or perceived security gaps that we may have seen at the university.
The report looks at things like no drones were used to scout rooftops, the small police force, safety resources that haven't grown with the university, emergency radio channels that didn't meet standards, and a provision that was removed from a state law that would have required the university to undergo a safety assessment. Bertram says we'll learn more once the official investigation is finished, and he expects it to be critical.
There are a lot of gaps that, were probably not filled, and as a result allowed, security and safety not to be as, to the level that it should have been.
Bertram believes the security assessment will show that there wasn't enough planning and not enough officers or security were at the event. Now you can read more from that report at our website at KUTV.com. Reporting live from UVU, David Ochoa, KUTV 2 News.